This is Sergeant E. Banks giving a statement on case 530 regarding Miss Maxine Gingham. After receiving several missing person reports regarding Miss Maxine Gingham, our inquiries took us to the property of a Mr. Richard Daniel Cross. On receiving the necessary search warrant of the aforementioned apartment, on the 18th of the 3rd, 2011, we entered the property. In attendance were myself, Sergeant E. Banks, Detective Inspector George Stratham and Officer Kenneth Johnson. Upon searching the flat, we came upon a locked door, which was then forced open by Officer Kenneth Johnson. On entering the room, we found the missing person, Miss Maxine Gingham, loosely tied to a chair and in a state of distress.
This is PC Jasbir Sandhu giving a statement regarding the case of Miss Maxine Gingham, case 530. After receiving several missing person reports concerning a Miss Maxine Gingham, our investigation led us to an apartment belonging to a Mr. Richard Daniel Cross. On the 18th of March 2011, a search warrant was granted for the apartment 4A of the Lighthouse building.
When we entered the apartment, we found a locked door which was forced open by Officer Kenneth Johnson, where we found the victim, Miss Maxine Gingham, loosely tied to a chair in a distressed state.
This coincided with Dr. Grace Benjamin's analysis of the victim also.
And in a state of some distress. Miss Maxine Gingham was then taken into protective custody and, after giving statements, was checked over, after which she seemed in a stable and calm manner. The statements given by Miss Maxine Gingham suggest no physical harm was inflicted on her by Mr. Richard Daniel Cross or by any other person while she was reprimanded in the home of Mr. Richard Daniel Cross.
Mr. Richard Daniel Cross was then arrested shortly after the relocation of Miss Maxine Gingham at his place of work. He is currently in custody and awaiting trial. Bail has been posted.
It is thought that kidnapping was not a malicious or premeditated act, but rather a psychological breakdown in the accused, Mr. Richard Daniel Cross.
It has been concluded that Maxine was kidnapped from her home address at approximately 5:30 p.m. on the 14th of March 2011 and had been falsely imprisoned in Mr. Cross's apartment until she was found on the 18th of March 2011. Mr. Cross is currently our only suspect and his trial will take place on the 27th of March 2011.
That concludes my statement.
This concludes the statement regarding the case of Miss Maxine Gingham, case 530.